Hey, what's up guys, I'm Praetorian and welcome back to HOI IV as we are playing as the Kingdom of Italy. So in today's episode we're going to be continuing the war with the Greeks. Should be able to get this done fairly soon. Yeah, this is not going to take much longer for us to end. And despite us taking the majority of the territory here, I think we still won't have very much war participation. We'll have to see guys, but overall I'm not having high expectations that we're going to be able to get much from this treaty. But before we do that, we need to look at something that I've been meaning to look at for some time, basically since the war with Ethiopia ended, and I've just kept forgetting, despite writing notes for myself and putting it in a pinned comment. So let's go ahead and take a look at this now so that I don't forget again. So this is the new divisional commander mechanic and citation mechanic that was added in the DLC. So essentially every division now has a commander, so similar to HOI III. However, unlike HOI III, they decided to do it quite a bit different, which I'm very thankful for, because I did not like the HOI III system where you had to appoint divisional commanders for every single division. It just took so long to do. When you started a new campaign, you'd have to appoint 100 something commanders, and it was just a real pain in the butt. It made me not even want to start new campaigns. And you could have it done by the AI, but the AI didn't do it very well. They didn't really seem to consider like the divisional commander's traits and skills and stuff, and they didn't know how you wanted it set up either. So it wasn't your best interest. And if you're a micromanager such as me, then it isn't your best interest to do it yourself, and it took forever. So I'm really glad that they didn't do it that way in HOI IV when they added divisional commanders. Instead, the commanders are automatically appointed, and they're all pretty much the same at the start. So you don't really need to, you wouldn't need to move them around even if you had the ability to do so, which you can't. Instead, the only time they're going to move out of this unit is if you promote them to lead an army like a regular general. So they'll get experience while leading these commanders. That will affect how much experience they get when you promote them. And in addition, they have these citations. So citations are gained by a unit for doing different things, and they are given to the commander, not the unit. So if you promote a commander, then they take the citations with them. However, they will not get any bonuses from those citations once they become a regular army general. They'll still have the awards, but they don't really give them any bonuses or anything. So basically the unit loses the bonuses and the commander doesn't really get anything from it either. It only really affects them while they're commanding the units. Now, the reason why we didn't start getting this yet, I wanted to take a look at it at the very least to kind of show you the mechanic, but even if we had looked at it after the Ethiopian War, we probably wouldn't have actually got any citations, because you'll see that they cost quite a bit of political power for what you're getting here. 30 power for a small, kind of insignificant modifier. I mean, these are pretty small modifiers to just one division. So they're really not worth getting in the early game, or maybe even the mid game, because some countries are short on power in the mid game. But yeah, if you're short on political power, you got all that other stuff to get. It definitely makes sense to get that first. Those are bonuses that affect your entire country. So you should get all this filled out here, your officer corps, get all your design companies, or anything else you need to spend political power on. You should do that before you do these, especially if you're going to be doing like a bunch of them, because it'll really soak up your power and not really give you that much of a bonus. Now, we are going to go ahead and get these citations now, though, because we're at the point that political power is not really so much of an issue. We haven't filled out the military high command. However, remember, I don't really like the ones that are available right now, so we'll probably wait to get somebody. And thus, I think we can go in and get all three of these citations for 90 political power here. But yeah, do keep in mind that it's not something that you typically want to do early on, just because it's not really going to make that big of a difference. So these are our choices here. We got the War Merit Cross. This is division recovery rate of 7.5% and equipment capture ratio modifier of 10%. A Cross of Valor will increase HP and breakthrough. Order of Savoy, nice supply consumption reduction, but also a penalty to defense. That's the 5th class. You got the Order of Savoy 1st class, which is just going to increase attack by 5%. So I think these are probably the two we'll focus on. HP's okay. Breakthrough's nice, but infantry doesn't really have very high breakthrough. So I think attack and division recovery rate would be better. So we'll get 2 of these here, and they're all infantry, and then 1 for the attack. Alright, the final thing to show is that you can look at the details, which will show how they got those citations. So in this general's case, he got it because his division took the capital of Ethiopia. And then here, we're taking Vienna, the capital of Austria, and some airfields. And another one that we got from Austria. So we got 2 of these from the Austrian war, only 1 from the Ethiopian one, which is interesting because in my little test campaign, I actually got 3 citations in the Ethiopian conflict. I only got 1 this time. Alright, so we're going to go and continue this war. Again, it shouldn't take much longer to get done here. And I'm not sure if we should be able to get Athens, hopefully. Though it looks like there was a naval invasion right there. I don't know who sent it, the Turks or Romania, Turkey. So Turkey just took that, and interestingly, they did not go after Athens. They're going into the Peloponnesian Peninsula. Okay. They really should have went after Athens. That would have got a lot of points. So we might be able to get there before them, but I don't know. I'm not really all that hopeful, guys. So let's go and push forward here. And these tanks, when will they get there? 3 days and 3 hours. I don't think this is going to take very long for us to get this done. So you know what? We should probably send this guy here. Him over here. Because yeah, I think this war is going to end like very, very soon. And so we're going to want to make sure that we get as much territory taken as we can, so we can try and get as much points as possible. We did sink that submarine. Alright, excellent. So that fleet will start coming over here now. You can see that fuel has become an issue in this conflict for us. You know, all these planes flying, and the ships particularly are probably what's costing us the most here. So yeah, we're just trying to move quickly here so that we can get control of this territory. And we are engaging troop convoys here. I'm guessing those are the ones that left these islands after they were conquered. Pakistan and India have signed a white peace. And we got some dockyards. Did we finish constructing something? No, we did not. But maybe repairs, or maybe we got it from one of the states we're occupying. So we're going to put that in place. Also, it looks like we don't need as much chromium. I think that's just because we're holding this here. We should wait before we do anything, since we don't even know what we're going to get in the treaty, if we get anything. There's a chance we might not get a damn thing in the treaty. So let's go ahead and go here now. And trying to get these guys selected, it's just not working. There we go. So we're going to try and take these. That's another 5 victory points here. But this is the key. Who gets Athens is going to get a lot of points. That'll force their capitulation. And I guess we can go and attack here now. Get this unit destroyed. Now, whoever takes that's going to get a lot of points. So we got to hope that we're the ones that get that. So this is a mistake I made here. So I almost never get these, or I really don't ever get them in the previous version of the game. And so I had forgotten that you don't need to get them in a row. It's obviously quite clear here on the tree, but I didn't think about it. So we should have got this one. It made no sense to get this at all. We should have went straight for the second one. However, we're not going to get the second one right now because I'd prefer to get radio. And what we could do is just wait until 41 and then get this one and skip over that if we really wanted to skip a tech there. But yeah, for right now, we're going to go ahead and get the radar next. But that was my bad, guys. I just didn't even realize it. Let's go and throw another unit in here, trying to get that taken before the war ends. Where are our units? Have they arrived? Looks like they have arrived. We also sunk those 3 troop convoys as well. So they just need to hit the port, and we were the ones to get control. All right, excellent. So now we're going to want to... we already have troops moving over here, so we're going to want to take as many of these ones as we can, because those are worth 3 victory points. So let's go ahead and send... I don't even know which units are going to move fastest, so we're going to take all these guys. And whoever gets there first, because, you know, train's going to affect it, so it might not necessarily be... Oops, I did the opposite of what I wanted to do here, guys. We just want one of these infantry. But yeah, it might not necessarily be the light tanks that go there first. We did get an air doctrine. I don't think there's anything else we need to do with air experience right now. So let's go and get the dive bombing. That'll increase air support mission efficiency by 20%. Also, we've got another situation here with the dockyards. We'll go ahead and put those into the destroyers. Alright, so this has all been taken. We're just waiting for somebody to grab this here. And we can also help here, see if we can't grab that before the war ends. If we were to look at it there, 93% towards capitulation, 127,000 casualties. We did 46,300 of that, and we only faced 184 casualties. That's an absolutely awesome kill-death ratio. Yeah, that is fantastic. So I did very, very well against them. Of course, they were already involved in the war with Romania and Turkey, so we got to kind of come up behind them and take advantage of that. But looking at the war participation, it does look like we got quite a bit less. Now, remember, the war participation system has been completely changed as well. So it still considers all the things that it considered before. So occupation is in there. Strategic bombing is in there. Of course, they changed the name from bombing to strategic bombing, so you know exactly what type of bombing they're talking about there. But yeah, they already had that. The sunk enemy ships was already in there before as well. And then, of course, casualties was in there. And that's really how the AI got the majority of their points, was from casualties, because they take such high casualties. And so they always get a lot of points from that. You can see they're getting 32 here because Turkey took almost 65,000 casualties. So the player got really screwed when it came to war participation, because we typically get or take a lot less casualties than the AI does. And so all the things that the player does really well weren't really considered, but now they are. You'll see that the land combat damage is now considered. So that's what's really going to help the players, and that's where we're getting a ton of points. We've got almost as much as Romania here, despite joining the war so late and not really fighting that many units. We're getting 203 points from land combat damage. So that's where players, I think, are going to get a lot more points because of that. Also, like you get credit for sinking ships, you'll also get credit for destroying enemy planes, and you'll also get credit for the Lend-Lease you send. Now, you'll notice you lose participation for receiving Lend-Lease. So essentially, you might not always want to accept Lend-Lease because it will result in you losing some points. But it's really nice that you do get points for sending Lend-Lease. That really helps with countries like the United States. And then the final one that I didn't mention here is the convoy rating, which is something that players often typically do quite a bit of. We're getting quite a few points from that, 40 here. So yeah, this is a really nice change that I think is going to help the player more than the AI. Help us get more points for kind of what we've been doing, what we already do, and what we should get points for. Let's go and start moving these guys out of here. I assume we're going to lose all this territory in the treaty, and the treaty, I think, should fire as soon as, I mean, if anybody takes this here, but probably as soon as we take this one is what I'm assuming. It's worth 3 victory points, so I think that would be enough. I don't know if anybody's going to be able to get over to there. Yep, it was pretty much as soon as we took that. All right, so as far as points go, we have 28, Turkey has 65, and Romania has 30. Now, this will be the first like real peace treaty we've done where we're having to negotiate with other countries, particularly other countries that aren't in our faction. You know, with Austria and Ethiopia, we were just able to fully annex it, so we didn't really interact with the new system very much. But now we're going to have to compete, and unlike the previous system, no longer does the country that gets the most points, which in this case would be Turkey, get to go first and do whatever they want, and then all the other countries are just kind of left with the scraps. So that's no longer the case. We all get to make our bids at the same time, and the more bids that are made, both when it comes to like turns and number of countries, the more expensive it gets. So that's something to consider. So we don't have enough points to do anything right now. With the 28, there's not anything we can get except for the islands here, which I would like the 10 chromium, but it makes far more sense for us to go ahead and pass so we can get enough points to try and take that. So you can see that already somebody has taken Thrace. Looks like Turkey did, and then they liberated it to Bulgaria. So they actually gave it to Bulgaria, which I don't think Bulgaria was even in this conflict. I don't think they're even in like Turkey's faction. I might be wrong. So that's interesting that they decided to give that to Bulgaria, and rather than take it for themselves. So I'm not entirely sure why they made that decision. So we're going to take this state here, as it's the one that makes sense and that we can afford. I'd love to get Attica, get the capital, especially for all those resources. We don't have the points, guys, and trying to hold out for that, and also not taking this because there's no way to be able to afford both of them. I don't think that makes a whole lot of sense. So we'll just take this. I doubt we'll have the points for that. So with this, that's 52 of our 56 points. We're going to go ahead and submit our demands. We will be annexing it. We could try and puppet them, and maybe it would be cheaper. But here's the thing, guys. We're trying to take over all the territory around the coast. You know, if we were to go with Rome, which I don't know that that's the route we're going, but if we did, that focus is called Mare Nostrum, you know, RC. So it's not really RC if we don't own all the coastline around the Mediterranean. And so that would be our goal, is annexing all this, guys, including Greece. So that will probably have to be a future war, because I don't think we're going to get much more here, guys. We are at 32 points now, and everything at this point's too expensive. It looks like both Romania and Turkey have claimed this one. Okay, so that's interesting. They're gonna, you know, fight over that and make it more expensive. It might result in us being able to get one more thing, perhaps the Aegean Islands here. Yeah, we'll try. Let's go and pass and see what happens. So now they've both gone after the Peloponnesian peninsula here. And what happened here? I think they made a puppet of Greece, and Greece now has Crete. Romania has made a claim here, making it more expensive. However, we can contest that claim. And I'm tempted to do so because that'll get us the island, but then we're basically saying we're not going to even try for this. I don't think we can get it anyways. 112 points here, guys. Probably not, just because they have so many more points than we do. So I'm not sure what to do here, because if we go for this, you know, it's gotten more expensive now. And if they continue to try and compete with us for it, it'll keep getting more expensive. And eventually they'll win, just because they got more points than we do. Because I think they would have to give this up to Turkey, and then we'd be competing with them for the islands, and then Turkey would get this. And there's a good chance we wouldn't get this. With nobody making a claim here, we still have a chance to get this. I think it's unlikely, though. Yeah, so it's difficult to make a decision here. I kind of feel like we'll just go for this, because I just don't think we're going to be able to get Attica, guys. It's just too expensive. So let's try and make a claim here. Again, I don't think we'll get that either. But we'll see. We'll see if we can get it. They're still competing with us. It's now 72 points. So yeah, I don't know if we'll be able to get it, guys. Because you can see that we don't have the score now. Yep, that's what I was expecting. We would have never got this, though. Turkey already had the points to get it, and even if we had waited, we wouldn't be able to compete with them. So basically, we need to forfeit our demands, guys. We just don't have the points to do it. Nor can we do anything else with our 81 points here, because you gotta like puppet or change a government on something to be able to do these ones. So yeah, I think that means we're probably done here. I mean, we can keep like passing. You'll notice that they'll just keep on getting more expensive, and we won't be able to purchase it. I mean, unless like they were still contending here, then you could try, I suppose. But yeah, it looks like it's done there. So let's go and confirm and exit. And it does seem like all of this went to Greece, which was puppeted by Turkey. We'll go ahead and confirm and exit here so we can see. Oh, well, that's interesting. Greece was not puppeted. In fact, they were liberated as the Hellenic Republic. That doesn't mean they're a democracy now, so declaring war on them would cause some issues. Sunk that one cowboy there. Okay. And then what we want them to do is all come over to here. And then everybody else just go ahead and get out over to here. Alright, so you know, you can declare war on them again, but you might want to wait until all the democracies are gone, like France, before you attempted to do this. I guess there's the Americans, though, and they do seem like they're going to win their war here. I suppose what we could do is try and help out, but I don't know. 3 divisions would make much of a difference, guys. Actually, it says we're not allowed to send volunteer forces. Why is that? Is it not registering that we're out of the war yet? Maybe that's what's going on here. So what we need to do is just kind of let it play a little bit. Maybe because we got the exiled divisions. Maybe that would block you. I'm not entirely sure. I'm kind of curious now, because it should register we're out of the war. So yeah, I think it's because we got exiled divisions. I've never actually tried to send volunteers when I had exiles divisions, so I didn't even know that was a factor. And why are you guys going this way? Come over here. So yeah, we got to get them all out of this territory. We got our volunteer forces back. A little late. Just a little bit. The war's already over. Yeah, I guess we'll send these guys. We'll just send them all to the same location. Right here. That's what we'll do. Alright, so get them all moving over here, and I guess we should probably also manage our fleet and our planes. We don't need them out there anymore, using up all this fuel. So let's go ahead and make sure they all go back to the same location here. And these guys here, what we'd want to do, I mean, we need to build up the oil reserves again. So for right now, we're going to take them off of everything, but we will probably just go ahead and have them train once we get this built back up. Then same thing with these guys here. We can go ahead and let them train now, actually, because yeah, it's one destroyer, so it's not that big of a deal. And what we'd want to do is just take any ships that we have that aren't up to the full experience level and go ahead and throw them into that training fleet. Looks like I actually already had a fleet set to do this. So what we could do is have them merge here into this one. Obviously, it makes far more sense for us to do it this way. Alright, so I think we're good to go with the ships. So let's get all of our planes moved as well. So we actually have one that needs to train. So we'll get them moving back over here, training up, just get to that next experience level. And I believe these guys are all over here, so we can just go ahead and take them off their order. And then these ones, yeah, we'll just move them back over here. All right, excellent. So that should allow us to get the fuel reserves built back up. We only got one state from that war, unfortunately, but it is a pretty good state. 24 steel and 24 chromium. Only one civilian factory, but yeah, the resources are what's going to be super helpful for us there. We did get the concentrated industry 2. So let's go ahead and go after the construction 3. And I think now that this war is over, guys, let's go and start working on these, some of these upgrades. Because yeah, we haven't got any of them yet. So we haven't done cryptology. Typically, I would have done all this by now. So we're going to get that first, so we can start working on decrypting. And also, I suppose what we can do is go ahead and take these guys off of their orders here, because they don't really need to do that anymore. As far as what the next war is going to be, I think it's going to have to be... I mean, you could probably attack over here, or it's going to have to be France. So Bulgaria is actually a potential ally here, in which case we'd want to let them keep these. You see, they would join our faction if we had one. So I'm not sure how I feel about it, because I kind of want this for ourselves, this territory for ourselves. We don't have to have it, I suppose. And technically, this is the Aegean Sea, not the Mediterranean Sea, so you could say that we don't have to have that. But yeah, I probably prefer to actually possess it. You know, if it's in our faction, it's not that big of a deal. We can have allies, we just probably won't have any major country allies, as I think I said earlier in the campaign. I don't really see any major countries being ones that we'd want to ally with. But Bulgaria is a minor country, and so I could see potentially allying them. Then there's the question of Turkey. Do we want to fight them next? Looks like they don't have anybody guaranteeing them. They are in that faction with Romania, so you'd have to fight them as well, but we don't even have a border with Romania, so more than likely we wouldn't have them in the treaty. It would just be the invasion of Turkey. So that would be one potential option instead of France. We could really go to war with either of them. Obviously Turkey would be an easier one. So we might do that, get them knocked out first. But you only have 1 point to invade from. Also, this is causing a problem. We don't want all these troops over here unless they can do so without supply issues, but it looks like they are fine. But yeah, all the troops want to head over here because of it's our only, you know, for this army, it's their only border right now. And I wouldn't want to do it that way. We would be doing naval invasions of their ports. Okay, I think this could work. We could do an invasion of Turkey, guys. And that would also give us a border with the Russians, where if we were going to have to fight them against the, you know, if they were to, say, hold the French in when we attack them, we'd have no border to invade the Russians. But if we attack Turkey first, we have the border here. It would be a difficult one to push forward on. Both ways, of course. So I think that's what we're going to do. I think we're going to attack Turkey next. The world tension's a lot higher at this point. One problem, of course, is that they're democratic. So that could cause some potential issues. Yeah, France would likely guarantee them, although they are in a faction. What we have to do, essentially, is wait till the French go communist. That should be soon, guys. So until then, let's create some different borders here for these troops, because otherwise this is going to create some issues here. So put them onto this front, because yeah, we do not need this many troops over here. I think that wouldn't be wise. Maybe 10 divisions could fit, because it is a pretty big port here. So we got the 1 mountain units. Maybe take another mountain unit somewhere, like this guy. Get him coming over there. And then what we'd want to do is take like all the rest of the divisions and bring them over here. All the ones that aren't over there. I don't know how many we've got in here, but... So this will leave 8 divisions here. Just the 8 there. So now we can easily assign any troops we want over here. And I'm thinking just like one of these guys. There you go. So 10 divisions. We'll see if they can fit without any problems. And then the others will come over here, the other 12 divisions. Alright, so that looks good. And then with the, which army is this? These are those volunteers. Okay, so they came here for whatever reason. So we'd want to send these over to America now that, let me just double check, we got all of our troops, yeah, out of other territory. I could have just looked up here, there's no notification. So we can try and send them over here. There's only, what, 2 ports for them to go to, it looks like. So here, we're in a good chance of getting wiped out. Or here, where you also have a good chance of getting wiped out. So this is certainly risky, sending divisions to them. And we still can't send volunteers. That's interesting. Oh, maybe because we're not aligned now? I know that changes the rules, but I would think we'd be able to do it. Send the volunteers. Because of where world tension is. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure why we can't when we could before. So that's unfortunate. That means we can't help out America or anyone else for that matter. But I guess it would allow us to go faster timeline-wise. The reason why we're moving kind of slow is because of those Chinese volunteers. That was taking a while to get all those, to give them commands and stuff. So we're going to do the improved medium battery next, where we have the 100% research bonus. We could, of course, go after the light battery so we can move down the dual purpose, because we'll need those for the battleships. I'm tempted to go that way, actually. That might be the better thing to do. Yeah, let's go ahead and do this. Obviously, we don't need the light battery as much as the medium battery, but I do want to get those dual purpose guns. Makes sense, and I think we'll probably be able to do both of these, because it's not saying this is ahead of time. I think it's supposed to be 1940, but I don't think it is. Some of this is kind of messed up with the new tech trees, where they're not... They're located in a certain spot where you think that it's a certain year that they're going to unlock, but that's not the case. They unlock a different year. And I just think it's just not working properly. So we actually got some troops we can take off, put them over here, I suppose. Of course, we're not going to war with France right now, but good to get some troops over there. Also, we have some experience, and we do have some adjustments we need to make. Particularly to the mountain troops. Now, I don't know that we can actually get... Yeah, I can't do that yet. Yeah, we'll have to wait. But we can go ahead and get the support companies. So we'll get the field hospitals for them. And we're also going to get them... I'm thinking logistics. Yeah, we'll get them logistics. I suppose if we have anything for them here, I guess we'd do the anti-air. Yeah, that makes most sense. So we're going to get them in the anti-air as well. And now we are done with the support companies for the Alpine troops. And it's just filling them out here to get them up to basically double the size. And won't be able to do that until we build out more troops, as we are attempting to do here. So let's go and actually get some more building. And how are we doing on tanks? We're actually not doing all that bad. So let's go ahead and put a tank unit out there training. I know it's just one unit here, but yeah, let's get them going. Now you'll notice I did change the name of our cab unit, which we only have on garrison duty, to the Italian Stallions. So this was a suggestion for a plane, but since we already have a theme for our planes, I figured we'd use it a different way, because I am a big fan of the Rocky movies, or I was when I was a kid. I haven't seen most of the new ones, but yeah, I love the original Rocky movies. I spent a good chunk of my youth in Philadelphia as well. So, the fact that he's from Philly and it takes place in Philly is, made it more popular in the area when I was growing up. But yeah, the Italian Stallions, that's what we'll name them. And as far as the other names here, guys, most of these are pretty good. Like the Alpine divisions, I mean, you could just leave that. I don't know if you guys got any suggestions here. With the light tanks, I actually got a suggestion for this name to name the actual tank design. So not the division design, but the tank design this, because I believe it means like faster or some version of that in Italian. So we already have a theme for the tanks as well that we're using, which is just the big cat names in Italian. So I figured we'd leave this here. So I think it's like the fast division or something like that. So yeah, I think we'll just leave that. These ones here we're not going to use much of. We could change the name, same thing here, since we do have those divisions. It's really just the main infantry division that we really need to get a name for. I didn't see any that were specifically for the infantry division. Maybe I just missed it though. Let's go and get these tanks moving. Yeah, I don't think we'll put them over there. And we won't be able to do any conflict until France, unless we went to war with France. Until France goes to, you know, communist, we'll be able to attack them. Now, one thing we could do is attack them as democratic, and then they're less likely to join the Soviet faction, but yeah, I don't know if that's the way we want to do that. I could bring the Americans in. There's always the chance that that's how that would go down. I think it makes sense to go in and get our faction started up. So we're going to go ahead and do the Italy first. That's 75 political power, and we'll create the Italian League, and Bulgaria will join immediately. So we're going to go ahead and do that. I initially thought we were going to conquer all the Balkans, including Bulgaria, but now I don't know. Probably let them join our faction and help us out. We're actually fairly weak overall. We're not really that powerful. You know, as far as like division counts, it's not very high. A big part of that has been the lack of equipment. You know, we are building a lot of different types of equipment, and so therefore it's you know, obviously that's, you build all this different type of equipment, you're not going to get as much of the stuff you need. So with the form department done, we could go and speed that up. That's only 5 civilian factories. But I kind of want to get the commando training, because we'll get, once we get 3 of these, or is it 5? I can't remember whether there's 3 or 5 of them. But yeah, once we get a certain amount of these upgrades, we'll get another operative, and I'd really like for them to have the commando trait. So let's do the commando training first. Yeah, we'll start knocking these out. I know this is going to impact us here, but you can see we already have the ability to construct 2 lines, which is what I wanted. So yeah, we're good to go there. As far as what we're going to build here, well, we could get more dockyards. We do need more of those. We also need more military factories. So let's go and get like 2 more military factories, and then we'll do 1 dockyard here. After we get all that done, we do need to get the cipher going as well. I think it makes most sense to go after France first. 960 days, that is quite a long time. Also, we'll be able to get the spy master once we get the faction created. I did forget to move these 2, so let's go ahead and do that. As far as where we're going to move them, just looking at their nationalities here, that's not really going to help either of them. Makes sense to go ahead and start building an intel network in France. Suppose we might want to build it. Makes most sense to put it there. And then with her, probably put her in Turkey. Yeah, we'll put them over here. Alright, so we'll start building up an intel network. Get those bonuses there. Because Ethiopia is looking pretty good in regards to the resistance. It's very, very low over here now. So we're in a pretty solid position. Now, if we went to war with France, we would have to take that, which we've already got a unit over there to do that. And then we'd have to start pushing into the North African territory. And it looks like Hawaii was liberated. And the United States is back to being the United States. Okay, so they're no longer the constitutional United States. And they're led by Leslie Early, financial expert. Okay then. So Hawaii is free now. So that's interesting. They should really lose a star over here, but I don't think HOI4 has that ability like Victoria III, where the United States has the exact number of stars. It's the number of states that are in the Union. We got our commando training. Excellent. So let's go ahead and go after, I mean, there's all this stuff we want to get here. But I think we're going to go ahead and get the radio interception group next, so we can try and decipher France a little bit quicker here. We have a military factory too. Okay, so that means all those factories went into those planes. All right, excellent. And we just take a look and see what we need the most. So light tanks is again short because, you know, we got another unit building. Light tanks are going to continue to be an issue for us. That's okay. I really feel like we might want to focus on getting more of these because they are so expensive. So getting a third factory there would be really helpful. We might have to finally get ourselves the synthetic refineries, but we don't actually have the tech for that. Okay, so that needs to be researched. All right, so for now, we'll just have to continue to trade for this. We don't need as much chromium anymore, so we can go and pull back there. And looks like the tungsten's about where it was before. Same thing with the rubber. I think we might just eat these losses until we get to 4 for now, guys. Because again, we're using these civilian factories at the moment. Didn't we just set up a whole bunch of stuff to build? We must have already got it done. All right, well, let's go and set up to build more things. Yeah, we're at 38 military factories here. So while we do need more civilian factories, guys, we'll build one more, but let's get some more military factories going here. So yeah, we'll get like 1 civilian factory, and then we'll need more military factories because that's really what we're short on at the moment. We have that 1 dockyard going. Maybe we'll throw another one in here. Guess we'll do it right there. And then, yeah, more military factories. And we get them any more into these locations. Here we go. All right, so just work on the military factories, because that's what we need the most of at the moment. Of course, resources are an issue, so we're going to have to trade for more resources, which is why we got to continue to build these civilian factories. We got the improved light battery. Excellent. We only really got that to get the basic dual-purpose battery, so let's go and work on that now. And we should probably get these military factories distributed so they don't have to keep on popping in here. So like 8 there, maybe 1 more into that, and then there's gonna be planes after that. And the last one will go into this, the tactical bombers there. All right, so that looks good. That should keep the factories getting distributed as we build them. The dockyards, this is probably us finishing construction. Yes, we did finish up the construction of both of those battleships. I knew they were pretty close to each other, but I didn't expect we get them both done at the same time. We probably don't want to build another of those old battleships, and we wanted to get the cruisers, or excuse me, the carriers. So let's go ahead and work on that now. We have the naval experience, so yeah, I think we should go ahead and do it. So we could do the converted battleship hull or the converted cruiser hull. So if you wanted to look at these and like compare what you're getting, can you not open them both at the same time? That's kind of a shame, but you can't just do it this way, so that's not too much of a hassle here. So basically the difference here is that the battleship hull is going to take 1 more steel. It's going to be more expensive with resources, and then it's also going to require more fuel usage and more manpower. So basically more expensive in everything, but it's going to have better stats. So you can see that the max speed is better with the battleship hull. The HP is significantly better, almost 3 times better. And that's it. Those are the only real differences. I don't think there's any differences with the stuff you can put here either. So yeah, we're probably gonna get this one. Just because, I mean, these are already old. These are already old carrier models. Now we could research that other one, I suppose, before we got anything here. But yeah, why not get one of these guys? I think we should go ahead and do it, because we already have the tech for it. We don't have to wait. We can start building it now. So we will need a name for this. So as of right now, we'll leave it as is. But yeah, we'll have to get a name for them. I guess I can give them a temporary name, just so they're not called that. And they'd be an escort carrier, because they're not very big. You can call it like a converted escort carrier, I suppose. We just wanted to give it a more unique name here. All right, so let's go ahead and start with the hangar space, and we'll go ahead and get more hangar space. We're not going to get any deck armor. Got the anti-air on there, the radar. Is that all we have? Now we could put the heavy engines on there rather than the carry engine, because again, it is a converted carrier. So yeah, you can actually put a better engine on there, which is nice, because yeah, the carrier engines we have are garbage, as you can see. That's faster than what we currently have on there. And you're gonna obviously save the fuel, but I think we should put like a heavier one on there. It doesn't need to be super fast. Like putting this on here, I think is a little too fast. You're increasing production a lot and fuel usage. But yeah, what I would want to do is heavy engine 2. I think that's the best way to do it. And then we're going to also put another hangar space on there. So that gets it where it's almost 30 kilometers. Could, of course, go to the engine 3 if you want to be 32, but that's faster than most of what we have out there. So yeah, I think that this is probably good. I did forget the other secondary battery on there. So yeah, I think this is pretty solid here, guys. With the speed, you know, it's around the speed of that battleship we built. Obviously not the 30 kilometers we would want it to be at, and we could increase it, but you know, then we're increasing fuel usage and the production costs. I feel like it makes sense to just leave it as is. What we're really focusing on here is hangar space. Now that does mean we're gonna have to design a carrier plane, and what I think we're gonna do is design a carrier plane that can do all the missions we want it to do, and just have one carrier plane rather than try and you know, build a bunch. I just don't think that, you know, a bunch of different type of designs. I don't think that makes sense. We already have enough plane designs right now, guys. So let's go ahead and save this. And let me just see if there's anything else we need to change here. No, we're good to go. So let's go ahead and save this. And then what we're going to want to do is get the carrier planes designed as well. And I think we're going to wait to get any more battleships, guys, because we are getting all this stuff for the battleships. So yeah, I think it would make sense to just go ahead and wait and focus on getting some of the escorts here, because we have not been building very many of these. Like, we have only built, what, two of the destroyers here. So I think it makes sense to go ahead and focus on these. Did we get anything for, I want to say we did, for these ships here? The fire control system. That's what we had gotten. So we don't have those on the destroyers for obvious reasons. It doesn't really have much of an impact, and you want to put the radar and the sonar on there. We got the heavy machine guns. All right, excellent. So the next thing I want to do for the 1940 planes that we'll be getting is, well, I do want the range improvements, but I'd also like to get these here. So this is what I think we're going to do. Let's get this one first, and we should be pretty close to have enough time to get this one, and then we can start working on the actual text here, because it'll definitely be a 1940 by then. So we'll get these first. So yeah, we're just going to keep one slot focused on planes for a while, one slot focused on ships, while these other ones get the other stuff we need. Alright, so again, not really able to do anything until France leaves that democratic, or else we're going to find the same thing happen. Although I'm not entirely sure, because, well, they're not a faction anymore. What happened to the, oh, they just left. Probably because they're democratic and they're not aligned. So they're no longer in the Romanian faction. Well, that's interesting. But yeah, I think they would end up getting guaranteed. In fact, the British have already guaranteed them. So if you attack Turkey, you have to fight the British. Okay. And I wanted to fight France first. Alright, so that's going to change the situation a bit. We'll have to react to that. But same thing here with the Greeks. You can't really attack them as long as they're as long as the French are democratic. Now, there is, of course, the chance that us attacking Greece will result in the United States joining. It's a possibility, but one we might have to risk. Yeah, I think Greece would be the country we'll attack then next, while we wait for France to go communist. So that's what we'll do. So Bulgaria is now in our faction as well, the Italian League here. So it's just us and Bulgaria. And then, yeah, I can't really attack here just yet. We'll have to wait. I mean, it's only 1939, guys. Alright, so we have our own faction that has also unlocked a couple choices here. You can befriend Greece. I don't think we want to do that, so I prefer to conquer it, as I said before. So you can also go this route here, which will lead you to war with Greece. And then we'll get the claims there and the war goal. And it's a 35-day focus. So it might be better to go this route rather than forming a war goal the normal path. So with this, you're also going to get a bunch of other bonuses. Now, fascism is going to gain support, so that's unfortunate. Because, yeah, we're trying to tick up non-aligned support right now, so we can finally go down the power to the king. That's kind of a bummer. We lose a lot of progress there. We do get some more war support we don't need, more political power we don't truly need. And we'll get a modifier there for justifying war goals. So that'll be nice. World tension's going to increase, and we get a bunch of claims. Okay. So yeah, I suppose we're going to do this one, guys. And then, of course, you have the Turkish route as well here. So you can decide what you want to do with Turkey. Okay. So that's one potential direction to go, and I think it is the one we will do. There's just so many things we need here, though. You can make the argument to go for any of this stuff. I'm trying to get some of these these smaller conflicts done with before we start the larger conflict. And so Greece would be the natural next one, because yeah, we could get all this territory that we couldn't get very much of at all. And Greece is great for all those resources. Of course, they also have all the factories and stuff. So we got the radio interception group. Excellent. So we're going to get the next level. And because we have our own faction, we can become the spy master, allowing us to recruit another operative. So 450 days now to get that done for the French. Yeah, we need more operatives if we want to be able to, like, you know, do anything with them. And since I guess we're not going to Turkey now, we're going to want to move her over to Greece, because yeah, that's got our new focus here. So move her over to Greece, and I guess you can move these troops as well. And we need to train up these mountain divisions, apparently. Okay, so we'll set these guys up to train. Let's see if there's anybody else that needs to train in all these armies. I don't think we'll do an invasion. I think we'll just attack from here, guys. The Greeks don't really have many troops at this point. So what we want to do is just take everybody that's here. We're going to get rid of that. We could leave one division, I suppose. Yeah, I guess we'll leave one division here. And then the rest are going to come over here. Although not invade from Bulgarian territory. And then we'll send more troops over there. And we do want to keep our mountain commander in charge, and we can keep him over here as well. That's not really that big of a problem, guys. We might want to bring one of these mountain troops over there, though. So we'll have like the 3 mountain units. So that's 10 divisions total. We'll also want to take our tanks and bring them over here. And we also have a tank here that I pulled out. So let's go ahead and have them. They're just going to attack from right here. And give them a planning bonus. And we actually have some more troops here. Let's see what we want to do. We'll just put them over here. Because as of right now, we have a total of 13 divisions over here, so it's probably going to stretch supply out quite a bit. I suppose what you could do, I suppose we could take a couple here. Where's this guy at? He's over here. We go up to 12, I suppose. It's unnecessary, but makes the war go faster. Less likely that other countries will join if you get it done quicker. So we got these support weapons too, but there's definitely that risk, guys, by declaring war on a democracy, that we're going to create a much larger conflict, and one that we're not really wanting to do right now, like with the Americans or something like that. So we do need all these here. I mean, there's so much stuff that we have to get at this moment. We're not going to do the tank stuff just yet. We need to get all these. These have research bonuses, so I think it probably makes sense to get those first then. Yeah, we just got those research bonuses, so let's go and get this one. 58 days. Get the next artillery so we can start building those and get them out to the units. And I'm not entirely sure why we can't send volunteers. Is there any more wars going on in the world, or are they all over? Just the Japanese-Chinese war. So we wanted to go back to that. Because you see that they've had some turnarounds here. They've lost all this territory here. They never finished up here once we left. But what's interesting here is I still can't send volunteers. Yeah, I'm guessing it's because we went not aligned. As of right now, not aligned is at 38%, but remember it's going to tick down by 5%, so it's going to be a while before we get that one focus, unfortunately. Could have waited, of course, but yeah, I really wanted to get the war goals there. We did get the radar, so these are going to need to go onto the ships. And I guess we got planes as well that have radar. Did we ever add the radar that we got here onto this stuff? I'm not entirely sure. I'll have to take a look at that. But yeah, I think that means we're done until 1940. We do need to get these. I think we should get the synthetic oil experiments now, guys. Because I don't know if we'll be able to continue to trade with countries that can provide us with rubber or not. This kind of just depends on what happens with Britain, because that's the one fleet that we might have trouble taking out. Because it's always better to trade for oil and rubber than it is to get the refineries. You know, because you trade away one civilian factory to get, you know, 8 rubber, 8 oil, whatever it is. You can't get that by building these with each one of these, and you got to get a ton of techs too. So it's kind of like in the long run, it can be beneficial, but yeah, it takes forever to get to that point. So I feel like if we can trade for rubber and oil, then that's our best bet rather than getting this. So for right now, since we don't know what's going to happen around the world with all the rubber and oil countries, we're just gonna go ahead and work on stuff here because yeah, there's a bunch of stuff we got to get. So I still want to get maintenance companies as well. I think that's the last thing we'll probably add to the tank divisions if we haven't already filled them out completely. I'm not sure if we have or not. But let's go ahead and go after the, we'll do the field hospitals first since manpower is an issue as Italy. So we'll make sure we save as much as possible, and then we'll just continue going through those. We have political power, so I don't think there's any officers that got. So let me take that back. There are some. So we did get some citations from Greece. So with that in mind, actually this is not from the Greek War. This is from helping out in China. The reason why they weren't available before is because we had them off as volunteers. Now, this one's from Greece though. So let's go and get these guys some modifiers. We'll give him attack, and we'll give him the War Merit Cross. All right, excellent. So yeah, nobody else needs any citations. As far as stuff we can do here, there's actually several things I'd like to do. So first of all, improving work conditions, getting up to the 100 political power and doing that would be a decent option. We can also try and get rid of fascism quicker by doing the anti-fascist raids, so that would impact the stability by a little bit. And of course, if we have anything for civilian factories, might want to take those as well. But I'm not actually seeing those options, probably because we're not at war anymore. So yeah, I think doing these two would be wise. Maybe even doing them at the same time, so you don't see as much of an effect. So you'd have to get the 150 political power to do them both. So yeah, I might want to go ahead and do that. Now we don't have much left in the episode, time-wise. We got the radio interception group, excellent. So let's go ahead. We'll wait to get this one because it is the 10 civilian factories, and 351 days isn't too bad here, guys. But yeah, we got a bunch of other stuff to work on. I think we're going to get the intelligence agencies. Yeah, let's go and do that. We'll get all 4 of those. And we might be able to get that other operative soon here. Looks like no operative being recruited just yet. Oh, I said we got one from the Spy Master. We only have 2 countries here. We'd need one more country in the faction to get one from the Spy Master. So basically we're waiting until we get, I think it's the 5 upgrades, not 3. That's what I was thinking. I wasn't sure. So yeah, we got to get the 5 upgrades, and then we'll get another operative. Let's go make sure these guys continue to train up. And, we won't pull them out and put them anywhere else because there's not anything that we're concerned about right now. Germans are really stacked up on our border, but I don't think they have any war goals on us. If anything, I think they'll go to war with Poland next, but really hard to say. We got the basic dual-purpose battery, excellent, so we'll need those for those battleships. But let's go and get the next one as well. Yeah, I think that would be wise. Yeah, we're gonna want those anti-air on the the dual purpose to get the anti-air onto our ships. And these guys are having some supply issues, some pretty serious supply issues actually. So we need to fix that, and I think it's just a problem of, let me just make sure, yeah, they're all using the motorized. So yeah, it's just a problem that they just can't get the supplies there because we only have the one hub here. Okay, so it's just not reaching. What is the infrastructure like in this area? Boosting that would help quite a bit. I can also take a look at the ports and see if we can't do anything there. Like on the port size here. A level 1 there. It's a level 4 here. So coming through this way is probably not too big of an issue once you get the infrastructure built up. I think that should help quite a bit. And also it gets us more resources. In fact, we should probably go ahead and build, well, you only get 1 more for that. So yeah, this is what we'll do. Let's go ahead and construct the infrastructure, put it at the top priority, get us a little bit more resources, and most importantly, should help with the supply at least a little bit. As far as getting supply hubs, though, I don't know. We'll probably just pull the divisions out, is what I'm thinking. Would be the better options, like bringing these guys, just bring them out of there. Yeah, and just go back up to having only 10 divisions here. Yeah, it's probably the better option. And then what we'd want to do is have this changed up just a little bit. That should be good. So the mountain troops will actually be in these areas here that we want to attack from. This is still going to be a supply problem. It's just so far away. And this is all one province, so what you could do is just change this up so only the tanks are here. And that might help out some. I mean, it's still clearly a problem, but with the infrastructure built up, that might fix the issue, guys. We'll see. We'll see what happens there. So we'll just go through all these, get each one. And probably have to end it here in November, is what I'm thinking. So we got ourselves the new artillery. I suppose we can go ahead and get the next anti-air. And I never did take a look at those planes, by the way. Let's get these guns upgraded. I just want to see if there's any upgrades here for our tanks and planes when it comes to the radios. I don't think so. We got the tanks already. But then we do have the radios on the Aquila planes. So I just want to see if they need to be upgraded. The radio navigation? No. Okay, so these are different. So this is the anti-air radar. So that's only for when you're on interception. It will reduce your night penalty. And we also got the air-to-ground radar as well, which I don't know if we had access to that before. I want to say we didn't. So this is when you're doing those missions, strategic bombing, the naval missions, the 3 naval missions. It's going to increase your surface detection, sub-detection, your strategic bombing, and reduce your night penalty. So how does that compare to the other sites, which I don't think we ever put on there? No, we didn't. But yeah, I did want to see how that compared to the sites we did look at, the bomb sites here. Because it looks like you're going to get 4 points of strategic bombing in both cases here. Okay, so that's interesting. Because you're also going to get all those other bonuses. And it's not that much more expensive production-wise. Now, of course, we don't have bomb sites. We got the radio navigation, which gives the 6 points of strategic bombing. So you're getting more here. But the night penalty is actually better here. So this would be better for the naval strikes, and it's cheaper. And while we're going to use these guys for strategic bombing, I probably won't build strategic bombers. I think what we're going to do here, guys, is switch these out. I think that makes sense. So we'd want to change this to B. And yeah, this is just it's just better for us because it's lower production, and it also impacts the detection, surface and subdetection. And then the night penalty is further reduced for lower production. So I think that's the best way to go. So let's go and change this out to the air-to-ground radar there, because I think that's a better option for us. And it reduces the production. Now we lost some efficiency, so there is that. But yeah, that plane is already kind of heavy in production, so like, you know, reducing it I think is worth it. So we're almost here in November, and we just got that focus. Excellent. And we got the construction tech. Okay, so let's go and get a focus selector first, and then we'll get a tech. So we want to go after the war with Greece. Though that could cause problems here. They are communist, but yeah, this could end up causing issues here. Yeah, because we're now forming the war goal. Damn. Yeah, I didn't think about the fact that they still hadn't gone communist yet, so we might want to actually cancel that for now. We'll pick up a focus in the beginning of the next episode, guys. Kind of look at that focus tree and see what we want to do, because you'd want it to be like a shorter focus, though. I don't know how long it's going to take for the French to go communist, because they already have very high communist support, and yet they still have not gone communist. They're still considered democratic. So yeah, I don't want them guaranteeing, and that's more of something the democracies do. So yeah, I'm not sure how we're going to deal with that just yet. So we did finish up the cruisers. So this can probably be the last thing we do here, and we got this showing all the outdated equipment. So we're just going to go ahead and improve these, which we might want to say that this is all outdated. Just make this all a little bit clearer here. So yeah, let's go ahead and change this design. I know that we have the new radar and the new fire control systems. So all those will boost this here, but is there anything else? No anti-air. I think we're actually researching anti-air at the moment. Did we get the new medium guns? I think that's the one thing we didn't get on the gun-wise. Yeah, we got the light ones, but not the mediums. So what you could do is just build one more destroyer. Yeah, it makes sense. Until we get those 1940 holes to put the better guns on them. So I think that's it. I don't think there's anything else. Though, we do have secondary battery here, so if we wanted to go dual purpose, we do have those available now. So that would be an option. If we changed over, because we're currently on the secondary battery too, if we changed over to dual purpose here, then it's going to reduce our light attack, but increase our anti-air. while also increasing our speed. So what we might want to do is like leave one of these, because no longer are dual purpose just better the way they were. Before you'd always put dual purpose in there because they're better. Now they're no longer better in every way. They do have the lower light attack. So what I would think we'd do is like leave this one here, secondary battery here, and then over here we'd have the dual purpose. It doesn't matter where you put them, but basically keep one of the regular secondary and one dual purpose. Bringing light attack down some, but increasing the anti-air, which I think would be helpful. And did I not name this? So let's go and get a D on here, and we should be good to go. So it's faster, doing a little bit less damage there, but more anti-air damage and better detection as well. All right, so let's go and get these guys put into the line. Put those full 10 dockyards in there. And go ahead and probably just build one more, right? Because aren't we getting other stuff? Yeah, we have all these things that we're currently getting. So it probably makes sense to just get one more of those. All right, excellent. We probably have, yeah, we got a bunch of ships over here that need to get trained. We've got those 2 battleships that we constructed. So all these need to get trained up over here. So we'll take a look at that next episode, guys. Get that done. We'll get the focus selected. And just try and figure out what we want to do in regards to Greece, since I am worried about the French coming to war, and I'm not quite ready yet. I don't want to fight them on 2 fronts here. I want to get Greece done, and then we can go mess with France with all of our units over here ready for that conflict. So yeah, we'll see, guys. And I'd also like them to join the Russian faction here. So they'll have the help of Spain and Russia, so it's not just us against France rolling over them real quick. You know, they have all the help of the other communist countries. But yeah, we got to wait for them to go communist. And then, you know, just because we attack them, that doesn't necessarily mean that they'll join the 4th International, though I do think that's most likely what will happen. But unfortunately, we do have to end the episode here. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you leave a like on the video, subscribe to our channel, hit that notification bell, and leave a comment. Do hope to see you guys on the next one. And thanks for watching.